Hello and welcome to Goulburn, New South Wales, Australia's first inland city and home to Australia's newest motorsport facility, One Raceway. This circuit is celebrating its first birthday as the 7th round of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul gets underway with only 4 races left in the season. Now it's time to have a more in-depth look at One Raceway with 2009 World Endurance Champion Steve Martin and 2003 World Supersport Champion Chris Vermeulen.
Well, happy birthday to the One Raceway. It's been a year since we've been here, Chris.
Yeah, and what a year it's been. It was spectacular last year when we turned up. New circuit again, resurfaced, you know, all this work and money put into this fantastic circuit, and it made for some great ASBK racing, didn't it, Steve? I mean, the action was on, the racing was close. It's just, it's a cool place to come to, and now, after 12 months of this surface being used, the riders can come back and they know what they've got to chase.
Especially this first complex. I mean, how critical was this and how exciting is it?
It's pretty cool. You've got to have some bravery to come in here very, very fast, and a lot of apexes through here, 3 at least, and trying to get as much grip as you can on the right-hand side of the tyre.
Absolutely. And then it's all about that critical drive up to Kawasaki corner, the first left-hander.
I do love a circuit with elevation change like this one, Steve, but when you come down the hill here into Ducati corner, that's where things really start to tighten up.
It's one of the most exciting corners on this circuit, for me, for a few reasons. It's a great overtaking opportunity. It can really suck you in. And boy, if you're ever going to see a crash, it's going to be there.
Well, it is off camber. There's a couple of surface changes as well. And like you say, downhill, you're really pushing the front end, which sort of makes you double apex this, which is important to be in the right part of the track to get the change of direction through SW Maytech up there.
Another important corner, that one too, because if you don't get that drive right onto the back straight, you're leaving yourself open for an overtaking opportunity into the new bowl.
Steve, we spoke about elevation change on this track, but what they've done in this final bowl section to give the camber and the character, it's very special, isn't it?
I don't think there's anywhere like this in the whole of Australia. This is absolutely unique to the One Raceway, and I like it a lot, I really do.
Yeah, it is a crucial part of the track. You come in here very fast, changing direction, and then you get that positive camber. I think it's crucial for the teams as well on bike setup and the rider and how they can manage that, because the force in here is going to really be loading that suspension quite hard. So a tricky place to get the right bike setup.
And for me, this is the most critical part of this whole circuit. This is your last chance to get to that finish line, your last overtaking chance, Chris.
It is, and getting onto that My Bike straight, it's a short run to that finish line.
The one thing we've learnt, Chris, this track is definitely not easy to put together. This is your Ducati track preview for One Raceway.
Well, on the first riders that will have to navigate the new One Raceway layout. It's only 1 year old, Steve Martin, and a lot of these riders experiencing for the first time this weekend as we get ready for the final race on the program of the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, where Chaz Williams will start from pole position. Rossi McAdam, who took a race victory earlier on today, will start out a second, and Gage Plowman in third.
Hunter Charlotte, Connor Lewis and Thomas Cameron is your second row.
The local man, Charlie Nichols, will start out at position number 7 on bike 22. A lot of people here to see him this weekend. Xavier Kermy in 8th, Callum Campbell in 9th, Orlando Piavitas in 10th, Finn Mellerick in 11th, and Crew Knight rounds out your 4th row.
Liam Fuchs, Stevie Middlebrook there all the way from Western Australia in 14th. Xavier Amoy in 15th, Thomas Zuccalotto in 16th, Leo Darling and Xavier Dello rounds out your 18 bike field.
Well, the first and second races of the Blue Crew Junior Cup this weekend have been absolutely entertaining. Plenty of riders in contention for the race wins. I'm sure that race number 3 of the weekend is going to be no different. The riders come around to take up their positions on the grid. We've seen 2 different race winners this weekend, with Rossi McAdam taking the victory earlier on today. Not long to go now, and the riders will be underway down in towards turn 1, which has caught a few people out this weekend. We get ready to go racing. Junior Cup is go. Great start from the pole man as they blast off the line and down towards Motul corner for the first time. Looks like a few riders charging through from the second row of the grid there as well. Gage Plowman, the race 1 winner. Supposed to start on the outside of the front row of the grid. Let's see how he's fared after a crash earlier on today.
A few riders wide there at the back, Phil.
Yeah, out onto the dirty part of the circuit, doing a great job to hold the bike upright. But as we come towards the top of the hill, it looks like it's bike number 18, Chaz Williams, looking to try and bounce back in the point standings.
He's got a decent little lead already. He got his head down and got a great start and just has hit every apex pinpoint to this point. So a couple of bike length lead. Rossi McAdams there. Hunter Charlotte around the outside there too. Gage Plowman, who, as you said, won a race yesterday, is right up there in the mix as well.
So down through SW Motec we come now. You can see Williams got a little bit of a lead, but he did the same thing earlier on in the weekend, and then that lead was swallowed up very, very quickly by the riders coming through from the back of the grid. Oh, a bit of contact there as they come down through the bowl. Maybe a few of them have been watching Ant West's manoeuvres through that area where he put some very tight lines to get some great overtakes done through that area of the circuit.
Well, especially on these bikes, a shorter line is going to be quicker because basically it's less distance. So these guys need to keep that in mind.
So Tom Cameron now moving up into second place.
Through Motul corner they go, tucked in out front's Chaz Williams. He doesn't have that lead that he had before though, does he? With Thomas Cameron right behind him now, and Rossi McAdam, who's the tallest guy by a long way in the class. Look how big he is on that bike compared to some of the other competitors out there.
I think he's probably one of the oldest competitors out there, Steve, but round here he's probably paying a little bit of a weight penalty as well because of his physical size. It does not seem to be holding him back in a lot of areas, especially here at the bottom of the hill, into the Ducati corner where he's been extremely strong on the brakes.
Yeah, he is stronger. He's bigger, he's stronger, so strength at a circuit like this can pay off from anything. So we just have a look here on the Blue Crew replay. One of the riders there, that looks like it's possibly Thomas Zuccolotto, has just run off the track.
Well, good to see he was able to keep the bike upright and not put any scratches on his Recondi leathers as they come round now to complete the first flying lap of this race.
And through they go, and it is Thomas Cameron who takes the lead with a nice little slipstream there. But Rossi McAdam gets the slipstream too. Looks like the lead changed 3 or 4 times there.
Yeah, Rossi McAdam up into second place. I think Cameron's gone back to third position as they make their way through Motul now and up towards the top of the hill. Now remember, it's actually Chaz Williams that went back to third place. He's now up into second. Can he get up the inside of Tom Cameron at the top of the hill? No. It is Hunter Charlotte that's sliced and diced his way through on Rossi McAdam.
Yeah, Connor
out
Lewis.
of Kawasaki and into Racing Road.
Yeah, Connor Lewis is up in that leading group too. Good to see him up there. Gage Plowman still in that 6th position.
Remember, Connor Lewis had to start the second race this morning from the back of the grid, Steve, but I think he's back to his normal grid position in this race. And coming into this third and final race here this weekend, he was 8 points ahead in the championship over Chaz Williams. So plenty of championship points up the grabs here. There comes Connor Lewis. You can see him there with the red helmet on board bike number 77. What a run down the short back straight. He's moved up into 5th position.
Yeah, he got plenty of drive out of the Ducati corner to make that move happen. Down the My Bike straight they go.
Lewis trying to utilise that slipstream from Hunter Charlotte. And see Charlotte now has dropped back behind Lewis, and also it looks like Chaz Williams and Tom Cameron on board bike number 23.
We've got 8 riders again within 1 second. Any one of these top 8 guys can win this one.
Well, and that point that you made earlier on, Steve, on lap 3, Orlando Piavita sitting back in 7th position has set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:15.642. And all of the riders from 9th place back to 14th, all setting their fastest lap of the race on that last lap as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Down the hill I go again into the hard braking zone. Very tricky corner at this One Raceway. The Ducati corner is. Flick right.
Well, just had to get out of the throttle there for a fraction. That's going to penalise them down the back straight as well.
Definitely does on these bikes.
It's all about momentum on these little bikes.
There's McAdam again on the number 61. but it is Thomas Cameron who's got a nice line through there. Nice and tight there from Chaz Williams as well.
Tell you what, the pink knee sliders are very popular in this field on their Recondi leathers. The thing is, they certainly stand out a mile away as they go out 3 abreast as they come down the MyBike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. And it is championship leader Connor Lewis that has gone to the front on board bike number 77.
That's a pretty impressive ride by him, isn't it? He made that look easy. We're at 2/3 race distance now as well. So if the race gets stopped, we'll get a result.
Also, too, you notice a little bit of a gap starting to open up there between our leading 3 of Williams, Lewis and Cameron over Rossi McAdam, who was back there dicing with a lot of riders, Charlie Nichols and Gage Plowman included, for that 4th position, and they were just starting to lose touch a fraction. McAdam has got back to the lead of that group and now started to drag them forward, and they've now caught up onto the back of the 3 that had just started to break away a fraction at the start of the last lap. We've now got a massive conga line of riders making their way through SW Motec corner.
Just saw Connor Lewis having a bit of a look over his shoulder before to see what it was looking like behind him, and it's not looking too good. You can't just back off yet, my friend, otherwise you're going to end up 12th or 13th.
Well, it looked like the main street on a Friday night with everyone trying to get out of the city, with everyone queued up, waiting for their opportunity as they spread out now across the entire width of the straight, coming down through the MyBike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish area and into Pirelli corner, turn 1. Down the inside, Rossi McAdam. Aggressive manoeuvre there, throwing the front end of the Yamaha YZF R15 into the corner.
Well, when everyone spread out there, he just got in that slipstream of 3 or 4 bikes and said, thank you very much, I'll use that. And it slung-shot him into the lead. And this being the final lap, Phil, that's a pretty pivotal moment.
Well, the bottom of the hill is going to be extremely important because that's where he's been very strong, but can he hold off the charge of Chaz Williams and also Thomas Cameron on board bike number 23? McAdams, once again, strong into the bottom corner. He's run a fraction wide. No one can take the tight line, though, and get the run through the inside into SW Motec corner. Chaz Williams has been very good out of here and down into that final entry into the Yamaha Revshahat corner, though. He pulls up next to McAdam. He goes around the outside of McAdam and takes the lead going into the final corners. Cameron up the inside as well. Thomas Cameron on the inside of Rossi McAdam, who's been hung out to dry.
Oh, look at McAdam.
There's been a bit of contact, I think, through the final corner. Can McAdam utilise the slipstream to get to the line? Chaz Williams leads them out of the final corner. And can he just hang on, Steve? I think he can. He hangs on to take the win by 0.064 of a second. It was so close at the finish line. I thought that he may have been swamped at the line just as all of the riders behind utilised that slipstream. But he's done a great job, Chaz Williams, to get drive out of that final corner and just hold off Connor Lewis. So that championship lead of 8 points will be reduced by 5 heading into the 3 races of the final round at the Bend Motorsport Park. And once again, we'll be set up for a thrilling championship finale. Congratulations to Chaz Williams. He takes the win over Connor Lewis and Rossi McAdam. 3 podiums out of 3 races this weekend. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, Thomas Cameron, good result for him. Charlie Nichols, didn't talk about him too much, but he nearly put himself on the podium too. Gage Plowman, a good comeback for him. He won a race yesterday. He had an off in a different race, but he's put that behind him already. Orlando Piavitas in 7th. 8th is Hunter Charlotte from New Zealand. Callum Campbell down there in 9th. And 10th, Xavier Kermy. Now, we know that he can run at the front too.
Finn Bellerick in 11th, Liam Fuchs in 12th, Xavier Namoy out there in 12th position. But there's your race winner, Chaz Williams. A great effort from him. And it will be 3 points the difference in the last round as they go into that championship challenge to decide who will be the 2025 Blue Crew Junior Cup champion.
I think it must be the pink knee sliders, Phil.
Probably got a lot to do with it, Steve. Well, congratulations to Chaz Williams. But if you want to be part of this championship in 2026, you need to find out more. And you can do that from the Motorcycling Australia website. And this could be you in 2026.
Got a plan?
Ready to go racing now. Third and final time this weekend for the Blue Crew Junior Cup. Junior Cup is go. Looks like a pretty good start from pole position there.
OJC is where I began my career on road. I'm where I am today thanks to it. Now I am doing what I love for hopefully the rest of my life thanks to OJC.
biggest part I got out of it was the racecraft, you know, it was the such close battles and where to be on the last lap and where you needed to be for the finish, you know, and still use that to this day.
Look for your opportunities of where you can overtake, like easy, not desperately.
So far we've kicked off the year good in the Yamaha Asia-Pacific R3 class, 5th or 6th in that championship, and I'm about 7th or 8th in the TVS One Make Championship.
Just goes to show you race in the Blue Crew Junior Cup, you're going to go places pretty quickly.
Here is every one of those motorcycles is spectacularly brand new. Yamaha have supplied a whole bunch of new R15s.
Generational change, and I think that's gone even the next step again this year. Oh, welcome back to a sunny One Raceway in Goulburn. It is round 7 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships, and for the second round in a row, we are pleased to have the Yamaha R3 Asia-Pacific Championship on board the program. And they competed at Phillip Island last time out, and now they're here at One Raceway in Goulburn. 2 completely different circuits, but they've certainly got to see some of Australia while they're here. And Hinata Okada, the championship leader, on 181 points. Great to see the colour of the Asia-Pacific Championship. Steve, lots of nationalities. We've got Australians, Kiwis, Thai riders, Filipinos, Japanese. Plenty of nationalities out there, and all of the riders enjoying sampling 2 of Australia's circuits in the championship in 2025.
It's interesting to see, but there is your grid with Valentino Nezovic, Varys Fleming in second, Hunter Charlotte in that 3rd place. Nicholas Lazos.
Yeah, Nick Lazos on the 2nd row of the grid with Tanakit Pramutong, the Thai rider, and Hinata Okada in 6th, Phoenix O'Brien in 7th, Gage Plowman, who did a great job in yesterday's race, in 8th position, and Passin Chompurat in 9th.
10th, of course, is Gerard Reyes, Marcus Maxwell Mays in 11th, 12th is Hayden Fordyce, Jed Lewis and Alvin Wu in 13th and 14th. 15th is Azbanud and Tepikat Karathi in 16th.
Yeah, Zane did a good job as well, along with the Filipino rider Mitchell Joshua No, and the Vietnamese rider Fat Tree doing a good job as well. He rounds out the grid here at One Raceway. Well, a lot of them would never have been to Australia before, and now they've sampled their 2nd circuit here in Australia. Actually speaking to Hinata Okada last night out at dinner in the main street of Goulburn. He's enjoying his stay in Australia. Has also hosted several Australians when they went to Japan earlier on this year. They raced at Motegi. We're ready to go racing for the Asia-Pacific Championship. Asia-Pacific Championship is go. Good jump off the line from Valentino. Also looked like a pretty good start from Varys Fleming as well. He started at 2nd place on the grid. But it is bike number 48 that leads them down through Pirelli Corner for the first time, out through Motul and up the hill. A few creative lines there back in the field as well, Steve. A couple of riders nearly getting off track as they make their way up towards Kawasaki.
Yeah, absolutely. But Valentino Nezovic got the absolute perfect first lap there, that's for sure. What a brilliant start. Had his eyes glued on turn 1. He was going to get there first, and that's exactly what he did. Varys Fleming, though, sitting in that 2nd spot in the number 35 machine with Tanakat just behind him.
I'll tell you who got a pretty good start. It looked like Phoenix O'Brien on board bike number 85. He started back a fair way back in the field on the 3rd row of the grid. He's up to, well, he was up to 4th position. Hinata Okada has just gone up into 4th position, but Phoenix well and truly in the mix as we come round to complete this first lap. I think that was Phoenix just diving down the inside of Okada as they made their way into Yamaha Revja Hart Bowl.
Yeah, definitely a great line there by Phoenix O'Brien to pull that move off over Hinata Okada, but Okada gets the slipstream down the straight and takes that spot back.
Yeah, Hunter Charlotte on board bike number 73. Good move on the straight there, utilising the slipstream as we see one rider going down.
Yeah,
I think that's Trying to see who that is. That might be Gage
Plowman, the South Australian. So
that's got into the bowl section, I think, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, he won't be restarting that because it looked like the handlebar was broken off. So unfortunately for him, he's just got to get it back and repair it.
So unfortunately for Gage Plowman, after a good result yesterday, won't be repeating that in today's race. Of course, no warm-up for these riders this morning, straight into today's race. That looks like bike number 83. That's Alvin Wu.
Yeah, poor old Alvin. He's had a couple of offs this weekend. He's also racing the 600 Super. Sorry, that's the race and road 300 class.
And I think that was a wild card for him in the championship this weekend too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So he's shown a lot of speed. Just needs to stay on a bit more.
Showed a lot of speed. There's a bit of bad luck has gone his way as well, as the lead for Valentino is out to 1.1 seconds over Varis Fleming, sitting back there in second on board bike number 35. Pretty close little battle going on there. That looked like the battle for third between Tanakit and Hinata Okada. As we go back to Tanakit at the moment, trying desperately to hold off several riders. They're queuing up behind him to try and find a way past. Well, at the same time, Phoenix O'Brien is all over the back of Hinata Okada as they make their way up the hill as well.
Yeah, he certainly is. And, you know, like, it's a pretty critical spot. Hinata Okada in that third position is coming under a lot of pressure from 4 or 5 guys behind him at the moment.
And when you think about it, Phoenix O'Brien only started road racing a couple of years ago. We saw him in the Blue Crew Junior Cup. We've seen him on board a Mini GP machine, and he has come a long way in only a couple of years. And here he is challenging the championship leader, who has got a lot of racing experience under his belt. Hinata Okada has been the premier rider in this class all year, and he leads the championship by a considerable margin due to his dominance at all of the rounds so far. He's taken so many race wins. He did the double, of course, at Motegi at round 3 earlier on this year. But this weekend, it has all been about Valentino Knežević doing a great job here in front of his home fans at Goulburn, just down the road from his residence in Sydney.
Yeah, and a great job it is. He's 1.7 seconds now in front of Varis Fleming, who's in that second place.
Because remember, last time out at Phillip Island, it was Hunter Corney and Valentino Knežević that took the 2 race wins at the Grand Prix circuit. That in only about 2 weeks' time will be the scene of the Australian Grand Prix. As Phoenix O'Brien. Oh, what a move from Phoenix O'Brien up the inside at the top of the hill at Racing Road. Yeah, Hinata Okada caught unsuspecting there.
Well, Hinata Okada, he had a lot of chatter just at that moment there.
Lazos too, Steve.
Yep, Lazos on the brakes, up the inside.
I think Lazos got in a little bit hot there on the brakes and had to lose a little bit of his momentum. He's just dropped back a fraction now off the back of Hinata Okada's machine.
Yeah, but Hinata Okada just before, when he went in, he got chatter. Up the inside, that Nicholas Lazos using that line now.
So he saw his good mate Phoenix O'Brien do it a couple of laps before. Went to school there, took some notes and applied the exact same tactic on Hinata Okada, who will now get the double slipstream from the 2 Aussies. Lazos uses the slipstream from Phoenix O'Brien. Hinata Okada uses both of them. Tanakit on board bike number 13 is fighting back immediately as well.
Somebody needs to tell these guys it's not the last lap just yet.
They're riding every race, or every lap of this 12-lap race like it's the last lap.
Yeah, Chomperat just on the back of that group, can't do anything.
Well, we've got a red flag. Red flag, I'm not sure where that incident is, Steve, but a red flag has brought that race to a...
It's Hayden Fordyce who's gone down, so...
At turn 12, there it is, bike number 31. So turn 12 is in that bowl section as well. It's claimed a few victims this weekend.
And somebody else off in that as well.
But we'll wait to see what happens with a restart and how many laps that restart will be over. But we're at half race distance. 6 laps completed. Valentino Knežević had a 1.999 second lead over Varis Fleming in second and Phoenix O'Brien in third. It had been a great race between Phoenix O'Brien, Nicholas Lazos and also Hinata Okada as the Yamaha Blue Crew Asia-Pacific Championship team all make their way out onto the grid with the tyre warmers and stands for these Bridgestone shod, very standard Yamaha R3s. And as we heard from Valentino, very, very different machines to the ones that race here in the Australian Championship. We're ready to go racing. Second race for Yamaha R3 Blue Crew Asia-Pacific Championship this weekend. Asia-Pacific Championship is go. Great start from Phoenix O'Brien. He's blasted off the line and he's pulled up immediately with Valentino Knežević as they make their way down in towards turn one. I think you'll find that Phoenix O'Brien will lead them through. Valentino sweeps around the outside to take up the running as they exit Motul and head up the hill. And the good news is that they've all made it through turns 1, 2 and 3 safely.
Yeah, wow, look how loose Varys Fleming is there. He had the back move around all over the place, but he does solidify that second place, but no. Up the inside goes Okada, I think it is, on the number 21 machine, the championship leader. A much better start this time round.
Yeah, aggressive on cold tyres, Hanada Okada, as they went to the top of the hill at Race and Road Corner. So down to Ducati we come now, and it is already Valentino who has tried to extract himself from any shenanigans that are going to go on back in this pack.
As they head down now into the Yamaha Revs Your Heart Out Bowl area. Up the inside, is anyone going to try that line? That's Phoenix O'Brien's favourite line there, but no, just everyone line abreast at the moment as they head on to the My Bike Start Finish Straight, with that Okada in second position with Varys Fleming behind him and Phoenix O'Brien on the number 85 there too.
You can see the next rider in that next group, Passin Chompurat, the Thai rider, literally threw his bike into the bowl in the last on the start of that section on the last lap, really trying to stay with this group in front. Currently, Varys Fleming leading that little 4-bike freight train with Phoenix O'Brien, Nick Lazos and Hanada Okada in there as well.
Lazos just make a move up the inside too, put himself up into the 4th spot in front of Hanada Okada.
Well, we heard that his philosophy for this race was he was just going to go the full send treatment. Nick Lazos on board bike number 11. Whoa, that was the 14 machine of Moses Gerard Rees, the Filipino, coming through at the bottom of Ducati there through a very aggressive move.
Yeah, he did up into 6th position, and he's on the back of Okada now. So if Okada's not careful, he's going to tumble down. There's a few guys behind him that have the opportunity to pass him here, including Hunter Charlotte, who's in that 8th spot at the moment, and Tanakat in 9th.
Yeah, Charlotte on 73, Tanakit on board bike number 13.
But Valentino with already nearly a second lead over this group.
Yeah, Varys Fleming, though, the fastest rider on track on that first flying lap, Steve, with a 107.343. Slightly faster than both Phoenix O'Brien and Nicholas Lazos.
Yeah, it's Gerard there in the lead of Hunter Charlotte in that second group. Of course, they're battling for 6th place at the moment.
So Mitchell Joshua and Marcus Maxwell, the next 2 riders coming through in bike number 28 and bike number 99. Battles going on all the way back through the pack there. You can see Passin Chompurat on board bike number 53, well and truly in that struggle as well.
Yeah, you can definitely see some chatter happening on some of the bikes out there. Nice tight line there by Hunter Charlotte.
I thought he was going to do the Ant West-esque move on the inside of Moses Gerard Rees, but Gerard Rees took a tighter line and he couldn't get up the inside. Now, is this Varys Fleming fighting back to challenge Valentino? It is.
Well, Valentino won't be happy, will he? He had this race won in the first part, but right here, right now, he's got a few riders to play with, and they're pretty serious ones too. And Varys Fleming, who leads now, and Phoenix O'Brien, who's right behind him.
Well, Varys Fleming has 2 laps in a row set the fastest lap of the race, and that's why Valentino's lead has just absolutely evaporated. The 2 of them now just holding off a little bit of a gap over Phoenix O'Brien, who's currently holding down 3rd position.
Yeah, you're right. Varys Fleming, 107.2.
So I think that was fractionally faster by a couple of hundredths of a second over his previous lap. A lot of riders improving on their first flying lap on the second lap, so proving that these Bridgestone tyres have got a little bit of life left in them yet. Valentino looked to the inside there. Varys Fleming carried too much corner speed, though, for him to get up the inside. He will have the advantage of the slipstream now as they come out onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Start Finish Straight. Out of the slipstream comes Valentino to the inside of the circuit. Just forces Varis Fleming a fraction wide, runs in with a fair bit more corner speed there into the first part of the corner. The important bit is, Steve, can he hold the line as they go out of Motul up through AMMF to the top of the hill at Kawasaki?
Yeah, looks like he can, and Varis Fleming already looking over his shoulder now to see what the gap's like. Back to Renato Carter.
Yeah, this is the final lap too, so Valentino knew that it had to be then or really wait until the bottom of the hill here. He probably didn't want to wait that far through the final lap to try and get into the lead of this race, because remember, he did have a bordering on 2-second lead when the red flag came out. Only limited overtaking opportunities left now for Varis Fleming. As we mentioned, has spent a lot of time growing up in Australia, but riding under the Thai flag in this championship.
Well, Fleming's going to have to look at the bowl. Can he take that tight line, or you can't dive up the inside of Valentino? He's too quick, and he's got too much corner speed there. Look at him go. The
corner speed through there is just a little bit too much for Varis Fleming, and also it's going to be about the exit. And we saw last time out that Valentino got a great exit out of the bowl, and he'll come across the line to take the checkered flag. In the end, the eventual winning margin was only 0.3 of a second over Varis Fleming. Will round out that podium as the rest of the field makes their way across the line. Once again, a polished performance from Renato Okada, the championship leader, in 4th place, just racking up points every single race that he goes in. Nicholas Lazos back to 5th place. Hunter Charlotte finishes in 6th as well, Steve. A great result for the Kiwi.
Yeah, what a great job for Hunter. Thanikat in 7th, Passin Chompurat in 8th. He showed a lot of promise in the first part of this race. Marcus Maxwell in 9th, Moses Gerard Reyes in 10th.
We'll go down to Chris, who's with our top 3.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. And what a race it was for the Asia-Pacific R3 Cup. We got an Australian in 3rd place, Phoenix O'Brien. A tough race there, but a great fight over the line.
Yeah, thank you for that. It was a very hard race. We caught up to Valentino, and then Hinata caught me and passed me in the last lap. And then I just slipped him to the line. So, yeah, well done to all the boys, and Valentino for winning.
And congratulations to you. Well done.
Thank you.
There you go. It's our 3rd place man. 2nd place, we spoke to him on the grid. Varis Fleming. Varis, you got the lead of the race for a little bit there, but Valentino had a little bit more in the last lap.
Yeah, originally I just planned to just follow him. And when I saw when I was catching him, I'm like, I might as well make a move. So, yeah, I took P1 from Valentino, but in the end, P2. But I'm still happy, as it's my first podium of the season.
Very well deserved. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go. It's our 2nd place man. He is an Aussie. He runs under the Thai flag. But our race winner, and we'll try and get him over here when he can, Valentino Knežević. Congratulations. Another dominant performance.
Amazing race, you know. The first 5 laps before the red flag was good. I was able to get my head down and make a break. Unfortunate for the riders who went down. I hope they're all right. After the red flag, I knew I had to do what I did before. Unfortunately, I made a mistake out of 10. My front just tucked, and lucky I didn't crash, to be honest. It was a pretty big one. And they ended up catching me when I saw Varis, and I heard the rest of the bikes behind me. I knew I had to line it up and be patient. And I did. I caught Varis' slip on the last lap and was just able to ride defensive on the last lap. So
it was very impressive. It was well done, well deserved. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Chris.
There you go, our podium finishes for the Asia-Pacific R3 Cup.
Well, congratulations to Valentino. That race win will give him the round win here in Australia, and also pushes him well and truly into 2nd place in the championship. Renato Okada still leads on 194. Valentino Knežević, what's that, 22 points behind now in 2nd position. Hunter Corney, unfortunately, out for this weekend due to injury. Still holds down 3rd place ahead of Nick Lazos in 4th. Plenty more action coming up here from One Raceway. Supersport 300 up next. Welcome back to One Raceway, where there is one extremely important race to go on today's program, Steve, because we could see an Australian champion crowned at the end of this race. Slight delay here, getting ready for this final race of the day. 10 laps is the duration for Race and Road Supersport 300. And if the earlier race today is anything to go by, it is going to be a titanic struggle all the way to the line. Ready to go racing for the final time today. Supersport 300 is go. Good start there from Hudson Thompson. It looked like he went a little bit skyward before he went forwards, but Jai Russo's got the jump. Coming down around the outside is Jake Page on the Champions Ride Days machine, but Nicholson is well placed as they make their way through Motul Corner on this first lap.
Yeah, good clean corner. Someone's off in the dirt there, or at least a little bit of dirt on the outside and the inside. Up through Kawasaki they go, and it is Jai Russo who leads the way at the moment. There's one of the Simpson brothers as well.
Yeah, got Tyler King right behind him as well. Another one to keep your eye out on, right number 128, the very rapid Kiwi. Flies over for New Zealand. Oh, geez, that was Hudson Thompson up the inside, pushing Jai Russo wide.
Very wide.
These two have raced together plenty of times, not only on Supersport 300, but also on little Avale GP2s, racing in that championship together for pretty much the entire year as well. Valentino back there into a third place. Is that Mitch Simpson trying to go up the inside of Riley on board bike number 42. Jake Page on the second of the Champions Ride Days machines, just violently pulling out of the slipstream there. Knew that he had extra speed over, is that one of the Simpsons? Mitch Simpson, and also Oscar Lewis, I think it may have been, on board the red machine.
They've been making their way through the pack each race, haven't they, those guys? So interesting to see how they go.
So, top of the hill, it is Russo back into the lead. Just holding off Hudson Thompson as they make their way through Race and Road Corner and start the run down the hill. This class made up of a combination. Oh, Hudson Thompson down the inside.
It's
big move on the brakes there from Hudson Thompson.
Yeah, but Jai Russo is not scared on the Moto School machine. He tips in. Oh, just nearly gets his front taken out, but it is Hudson Thompson who leads the way at the moment.
Yeah, I think Russo just had to get out of the throttle a fraction there, lost a little bit of momentum. You made the point earlier on, Steve, this class is all about momentum, and the beneficiary of that was Valentino Knežević, who's had a perfect weekend in the Blue Crew Cup. Riding an R3 machine, but nothing like this bike that he's out here now. Different tyres, different suspension, and different lap times as well. As Valentino goes into the lead on board bike number 48, the Excite Motorsports machine has hit the lead.
Yeah, Valentino's getting a lot of racetrack miles under his belt at the moment, riding different championships around the world, but Hudson Thompson doesn't care about that, does he? That was a nice dive up the inside.
Well, Hudson Thompson spent the European summer over in Europe training with his brother Carter, who just recently actually took victory in the World Supersport 300 category and was the first ever winner of the Blue Crew Junior Cup as well. So just a reminder too that if you want to get involved, the perfect way to find yourself in this Race and Road Supersport 300 category is to get your name down, get your entry in for the 2026 Blue Crew Junior Cup. Applications are still open for that championship, and you can be the beneficiary of great coaching with Gary McCoy, the lead coach there, and a great team of people that prepare all the bikes for you. A great championship that has produced so many champions, not only here in Australia, but also so many riders competing internationally. And good to see that one of the riders that's competing internationally after competing in this class is actually Jai Russo's brother Levi, overseas at the moment.
Yeah, good to see. Meanwhile, back out the front, it is Jai Russo, Hudson Thompson, Valentino, Jake Page, Riley Norder, Scott Nicholson, doing all he needs to do. Fastest lap, a 106.5.
I think that is perfect for Scott Nicholson, just to be sitting there. He's got a little bit of a buffer behind him. He doesn't need to try and battle these guys for the race win. He can sit there and just safely cruise around and claim that championship at the end of the race.
Nice move again down the hill and into Ducati corner by Hudson Thompson. It's Jai Russo looking to get past. He can't do it. Hudson Thompson makes that move stick beautifully. But look who's on their way up. Jake Page has come through the pack, and he's put himself into third place now with Riley Norder just behind him.
If they were to finish in those positions, Steve, the championship gap would be 85 points. So it would certainly be enough to crown Scott Nicholson champion. Remember, 76 points is the magic number as Jake Page goes into the lead, so that number's just reduced by 5.
Yeah, so how tricky? What do you do? What do you do if you're like Scott Nicholson? Do you get involved in this fight or do you just sit there? You know,
well, do you reckon he's worried about doing the mathematics? He's an accountant, I think, isn't he, Steve?
Well, I found out he isn't an accountant. Yes, he is. And mathematics. He's good at mathematics.
Actually, you know who else was an accountant? I think Andrew Pitt was an accountant, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. So if you're an accountant,
oh, Riley Norder down the inside.
Didn't quite make it come off, but it was pretty spectacular, the attempt.
How was the attitude of the Champions Ride Days machine there? She was all crossed up coming down the hill into Ducati corner.
It was definitely pretty sideways.
Well, we know that Riley is a former dirt track champion, so in actual fact, I think he still rides a lot of dirt track as well. Valentino back down the inside.
That is his favourite move into there, isn't it? He's good at that. Makes it work.
Just carries that corner speed through the first part of Yamaha Revs Your Heart corner.
Valentino's not tiny anymore. He used to be tiny, you remember, a few years ago. But he's certainly grown up to be, you know, a strong lad now. So he's getting bigger on these bikes. He's getting stronger, but also less aerodynamic. I'm not saying he's fit as. Like,
yeah, but also too, just a couple of extra kilos. Exactly. Even though it is muscle, is actually a small penalty in this. Although Jai Russo's not worried about that. He's one of the taller riders in this field, and he was just trying to have a go at one of the shortest riders in the field, the 14-year-old Queenslander, Jake Page.
Yeah, that was a super aggressive move.
Oh, down the inside goes Hudson Thompson.
Definitely a lot slower times this race.
That's because there's more carving up than a Sunday roast going on out there at the moment.
That is true. Also, it's windier, and probably the track conditions are slightly hotter.
They'd be the hottest they've been all weekend, I'd say, out there now with the sun that's been beaming down on this beautiful circuit here at Goulburn all day, just really heating up the tarmac. Of course, a combination of Pirelli, Michelin and Dunlop tyres in this class as well. This is the class where we see the biggest tyre battle in any of the ASBK classes as Valentino tries to go back down the inside of Riley Norder there.
You may have forgot one brand, the brand that's going to win the championship, which is Bridgestone.
There you go.
Scott Nicholson, I'm pretty sure, uses Bridgestone tyres. So it is good because they're all super competitive.
I do notice a complete lack of sponsorship on Scott Nicholson's machine as well. We know that Traction Control Motorsport has been a supporter of Scott Nicholson for many, many years. Riley once again down the inside. He's not scared to get in deep and late on the brakes.
He's not making it happen though, is he? He's just like he's getting out of control too early there. He needs to find a different way to make that work.
Through SW Motec we come now. You can see getting right down behind the screen. There's your current race leader, Jake Page. The lead is just over half a second at the moment. Jake has also done the fastest lap of the race. That was on the last lap, a 106.316. It was a 106.5 last lap. What's he been able to do this time at 106.3? Fastest lap of the race has just gone to Hudson Thompson with a 106.283.
Yeah, there you go. Fastest lap, 106.2 by Hudson, as you say.
Oh, big moment there for Russo.
Yep.
Lucky to stay on board the Moto School entry.
Holds it together, or still lots of chatter from the front there. Valentino up the inside, but Russo looks like he's going to strike. I'll tell you what, he's pretty brave, isn't he? Oh, a moment there for Scott.
That may have been his heart still beating that hard that it was pumping out of his chest. Right. So Nicholson has moved forward now up into fourth place. That is certainly enough points to claim the Australian Championship. While the three riders out front, Jake Page, Hudson Thompson and Riley Norder, battle for the race win. Scott Nicholson, I think he's pretty confident just to sit there in fourth or fifth position now to take the championship. And there'll be some solid celebrations in Parc Fermé at the completion of this race. So that is 8 laps down, 2 laps to go. The lead group have just extricated themselves now. It's 2.1 seconds. The gap from Riley Norder in third place, or Riley Norder in second place now, back to our third place rider, Valentino Knežević.
Yeah, good move there by Riley Norder to make the pass on Thompson.
I'll tell you what, it finishes in that order or the other way around for the Champions Ride Days machines, Stephen. They have had the perfect weekend, taking first and second in all 3 races here this weekend. The one man that wants to dispute that is Hudson Thompson.
There you go. That's how you pass into the Ducati corner.
on the ex-Will Nassif machine, doing a great job there at the bottom of the hill.
I think Thompson wants this bad. He's going to go for it.
Well, he knows his older brother Carter scored victory last weekend in the World Supersport 300. He wants to follow it up here in the final race of Race and Road Supersport 300 at the penultimate round of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul.
Tucked down in the slipstream, but once again, Riley Norder goes past. Can Hudson Thompson hold it on? No, he can't. Norder right on the back wheel there. He's got more mid-corner speed, has the Yamaha rider in third at the moment, uses all the track.
I think it's because Riley seems to run into the first part of the corner a little bit faster. Then Hudson comes back mid-corner.
It's going to be hard for him to win it from there, that's for sure. There's only a couple of opportunities left for him, really. One of them's down the hill.
Well, he's got to get past Riley Norder. Then he's also got to try and get past Riley's teammate, the current race leader, Jake Page, who is doing a good job at the moment.
Looks at that inside line, can't do it.
I think Riley has probably got his hands full just trying to hold off Hudson Thompson rather than trying to get the run on Jake Page. As a sign, he's ready there for bike number 39, Scotty Nicholson. I'll tell you what, he's not worried about the sign at the moment because he's trying to hold off a rampaging field of Supersport 300 riders. As we come onto the straight, it is Jake Page that will take his second win of the weekend. And Hudson Thompson steals second off Riley Norder by a couple of tenths of a second. But Scott Nicholson is your Australian champion in Race and Road Supersport 300. He takes the flag in fourth position. Congratulations to Scotty Nicholson. A superb year, only finishing off the podium in leading into this round in one race and had one DNF. It's been a solid weekend from Scott Nicholson, and he deserves the Race and Road Supersport 300 Championship after a sensational year. Congratulations, Scott. But Jake Page wins the race by 0.213 of a second over Hudson Thompson. Riley Norder third, 0.224 of a second. So Norder just missed out on making it the perfect weekend for Champions Ride Days by less than a hundredth of a second, Steve. But Jake Page takes the win. It's his second of the weekend. Thompson in second, Norder in third. Nicholson, the Race and Road Supersport 300 champion for 2025, in fourth place. Valentino in fifth, Mitch Simpson in sixth, Lazos in seventh, Ritter in eighth. Good ride from Matt Ritter on board bike number 23, Geordie Simpson in ninth, and Jai Russo rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, great job for him. And look at that. There they are, putting the number one plate on the bike. He's got the T-shirt too. You know you've won the championship when you've got the T-shirt. It's a nice one too. The gold number one. I think it matches the pink well. Works at AMX down in Victoria there. So, you know, not only is he going to school, not only is he going to university to be a taxation accountant, he's also, you know, working every day.
Oh, he's got the gold helmet too. If you're a champion, you've got to have the gold helmet with the writing on the visor. Hopefully he hasn't got to run too far back to the pits because it'll be a bit difficult to see out of that one. Well, as I said though, a complete lack of sponsorship on the side of the machine, but we know that Traction Control Motorsport have been one of his long-time supporters.
KYT helmets.
Looks like he's Batubo getting the photos taken there with the number one. The big gold number one arrives back in the podium area. 2025 Australian Race and Road Supersport 300 champion, Scott Nicholson. After an extremely tough race too.
Go, brother.
Well, let's go down to Chris. He's with the champion, Scotty Nicholson.
Yes, here we are, the Australian Supersport 300 Race and Road champion, Scott Nicholson. How does that sound?
It's amazing, Chris. It's been the culmination of 14 years of racing. It's been so close before, but finally I've got one.
You're a mum and dad supported team, let's face it. The guys were saying the lack of sponsorship on this bike, the hard work behind the scenes. Tell us about it and everyone that's involved.
Look, mum and dad have been amazing. They've supported me my whole career. They put in so many endless late nights, and along with me, my partner Mariah, my two brothers who come to every race, give up time with their own kids, and they're here to support me, and I couldn't do it without them.
It's very well deserved, mate. Congratulations and enjoy it.
Thank you, Chris.
There you go. That's our champion this year. We will get the race winners as well. The third place here, we got Riley Norter. It was a great race, the Champions Ride Day bikes. Riley, tell us about that race.
Yeah, it was a hard race, that one. Didn't get the best start. I think I dropped back to 4th, and then, yeah, just kept on dropping back over the first couple of laps, but started to make my way forward. I ran out of tyre a bit on the end, and yeah, Huddy just made a great move into the second last corner, and yeah, just couldn't get the slip to the line.
No, well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
They got third place. And like he said, the tall man, Hudson Thompson, congratulations. Great to see you back on the podium again.
Yeah, it feels so good. After what my bike's put me through this weekend, a black flag in the first race and the mechanical in the second race, and it just feels so good to get this podium. It's the best feeling podium I've ever had.
Very well deserved, very well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And our race winner, again, Jake Page. Congratulations. What a ride. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Yeah, that was a good race. I just want to thank my whole team. Like, I wouldn't be here without them, giving me a race-winning bike all weekend, all year. And, yeah, I just want to thank my mum and dad, all my sponsors, and, yeah, that was a great race, and I just pushed from the start. I dropped back a little, but I took a breath, and I just regrouped, and I just slowly made my way forward.
Well, there you go. Our podium finishers and new champion for the Australian Supersport 300 race and road class.
Well, thanks very much, Chris. Congratulations to Scotty Nicholson, a deserved champion there. Even got the gold pit board, Steve, the eventual championship tally after 6 rounds of competition, 340 points. Jake Page has now secured second place with a healthy lead over Geordie Simpson in third on 243. Tara Morrison has slipped back to 4th this weekend. She'll bounce back at the bend. Tyler King is in the top 5 as well on 228 points, and certainly in the battle for that third place in the championship. Plenty more action coming up. There is one more round at the Bend on the 7th to the 9th of November. Get in, get your tickets now. It is going to be a great way to finish off the year. We've only seen one champion crowned. There are plenty more to be crowned at the Bend, including that man there, Josh Waters. Can he do it and make history? The only 5-time Supersport champion. Can Archie McDonald challenge for the Supersport Championship? We'll find out on the 7th to the 9th of November at the Bend. We'll see you there.